Joining us on the broadcast this minute is Koichiro Matsumoto. He serves as the Deputy Cabinet Secretary for Public Affairs in the Prime Minister's office in Japan. Thanks very much for being here with us. How would you describe the legacy that Shinzo Abe leaves behind?
Yes, he was the longest-serving Prime Minister of Japan, one of the most prominent leaders of our time. Japan probably has ever had, not only in Japan, that is felt not only in Japan, but around the world. Among those leaders he met, he was held in high regard for his deep commitment to diplomacy, economy, national security. You probably heard Prime Minister Kishida saying that Prime Minister Abe, former Prime Minister Abe, led Japan with his magnificent leadership. Also, he was a very strong believer of Japan as a nation. He helped his nation recover economically through his policy package called the Abenomics, flexible fiscal policy, aggressive monetary policy, and the growth strategy. And this sowed the seeds for an economic recovery that we are enjoying at the moment. And if I may carry on, he was very eager to upgrade Japan's defense capability and the security legislation in light of deteriorating security environment in East Asia. He came up with this enactment of peace and security legislation and also founded the National Security Secretariat, which is equivalent to NSC in the United States. We shouldn't forget also that he was also a champion of gender equality, putting in place corporate governance codes and encouraging Japanese companies to be more, to encourage more of a diversity in the business in Japan.
And you have worked closely with Shinzo Abe. Which qualities of the leader stand out for you when you look back at the time that you spent with him?
Well, he's a very decisive person and he was full of ideas. Full of ideas, I mean that he came up with this amazing idea of a free and open Indo-Pacific that became the linchpin of our diplomatic initiatives. And that really sort of embraced all the countries in Indo-Pacific, not only the countries which are in the Indo-Pacific, but also the European countries. For example, Germany, United Kingdom, and France came up with Indo-Pacific Initiative as their national strategy. And if you remember very well, the headquarters in Hawaii, in the U.S. Military base, this was called Pacific Command. But because ever since Prime Minister Abe advocated the initiative of free and open Indo-Pacific, they changed the name to Indo-PACOM, Indo-Pacific Command. So there was a kind of he was rich in his ideas and he knew exactly what geopolitics is all about.
How do you view Shinzo Abe's contribution in shaping Japan's strategic posture and the country's relationship with India?
He was extremely fond of India as a country and Indian people. He was an earnest believer of Japan-India relations. His close and cordial relationship with Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India is very well known. And I think many of your viewers do know how deeply he believes in the relationship between the two countries and the two leaders. And also the fact that he advocated free and open Indo-Pacific is quite telling because he said, well, Indo-Pacific as an ocean and the entire area should be viewed as public goods for the international community. And he always believed in the freedom and openness of this area, because this will enable us to have a prosperous Asia, and that is going to be the
Koichiro Matsumoto, thanks very much for being here on the broadcast on this difficulty. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.